Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to LadyGang. I'm Becca Tobin here with Jack Vanek and Kelty Knight.
Kelty was really giving the old razzle dazzle.
She was like
razzle dazzle.
She was like a maestro.
Yeah.
Giving maestro.
Good morning. I don't know why I'm like leaning down. I can adjust the mic. No, I'm just excited to see you guys.
I'm excited to see you.
I miss you when we don't talk every day.
I know. It's very hard, but it's going to ramp up because Lady World is planning is in full swing and we're texting constantly. So I think we'll probably be in each other's lives too much soon.
It's always like a slow beginning of the year and then everything just like comes and hits you at once.
Yep. All right. Well, let's do it. It's time for
Good week.
Yes, it is.
Bad week. Oh, no.
I'll start because I'm so proud of myself, you guys.
Ooh.
I am ballin' on a budget. And by that, I mean I planned Ford's third birthday. And I gave myself a very strict rule. And it was DIY as much as you possibly can.
Wow.
Because it can get so expensive and like the standards for kids' birthday parties are so insane. So I wanted to fight against, the man, but I also wanted to make my child happy. So I went on basically a search through Amazon to duplicate every fancy thing at every kid's birthday party. My neighbor is like the mom who creates the most magical experiences for her kids, but does it all herself. So I enlisted the help of her, and she made signs for me that you print at Walgreens, like these really official signs. I did like a car theme because he's obsessed with it. So It was like for the food station, there's like a sign that said Ford's fueling station.
Aww.
And like start your engines, blah, blah, blah. But really the thing that I crushed was I made a balloon arch that would envy any professional's job you've ever seen.
You did this yourself? You made the arch?
Myself.
I'm shocked.
How do you make a balloon arch?
Okay, so on Amazon, you can search and they have a ton of options, lots of themes. And what it is, the key is there are hundreds of balloons. So you have to get one of those like balloon blower upper things.
You get the pumper.
Yeah.
It's not even a pumper. It's like a little machine that you don't even have to pump. You just slide the balloon onto the
helium
nozzle.
machine.
But it's not helium.
Blowing up an inner tube.
Oh, yeah.
Like blowing up an inner tube for the pool?
Yeah, kind of. But it's just like this little, you just turn it on and you hook it to the nozzle and it goes. It's not helium because you don't want them to have helium for the arch. So we did it. And then it comes with this little strip. It looks like just tape, like Scotch tape. But it's thicker than that. And then it has these little tiny holes that you pull the knot of the balloon through. So it's so much easier than I thought. So I did it and it is gorgeous. It's actually, there's like a reel on my Instagram because I was so proud of the work that I did that I put it up. So I did the whole party for like a couple $100. That's food, that's decorations, the whole thing. I'm so proud of myself.
I am so shocked for so many different reasons.
So many too. Jack, you go with your reasons first. I'm shocked. Who is this woman on this podcast right now?
Just
I don't know her.
A full themed party is so insane to me. Like when you're talking about Ford's fuel and stuff, I'm like, you would never do that.
No.
Like that, especially
and you said you weren't going to do that.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. I always use Evite to do my invitations, and I allow Evite to like spark the inspiration, right? So you have to have like some sort of cute invitation, and it was like, well, the cars are easy, and they had so many of these templates that were so cute. So from there, I was just like, oh, this is the direction I'm going, and I wanted it to feel different because we hosted it here at our house. So I wanted it to feel different than any other like play date he might have. So I felt like I needed to have some decor. And
that's very cute.
Things you do for your child. I know. Who am I? Who is she?
Who are you?
It's actually amazing. And then it's like, oh, well, good. Now that you have learned how to make a balloon arch, I feel like
I
feel like
endless.
We don't really need to hire somebody for Lady World.
Yeah,
you know?
It's just Becca making balloon arches for every doorway.
I'll do it. Anyways, so that was my good week. I'm really proud of myself.
Okay.
My bad week is I took a step cardio class. The trainer that I work out with, she has one class a week that's step cardio.
Step? Like
yes.
old school step? Oh my
Yes,
God.
like
I used
what
to
our
do
moms
step
did.
all the time with my mom when I was in high school. I loved it.
Okay. Well, her classes are so good because it really challenges your brain. And I just
Yeah.
wanted something like that. So I went to her class here in Austin and she put me in the front because I am usually the star student in any of her other classes, right?
Mhm.
Like I'm pretty competitive with myself. I don't like to stop, just like to push myself. So I'm in the front. I fucking took one wrong step and fell off the step
Oh
straight
no.
onto my ass. It was the most humbling experience of my life. I'm the only person who fell in the entire class.
Did you wear a scrunch sock?
No,
That was your
I
problem. If you had worn a scrunch sock, you would have never misstepped. The
I'm
scrunch sock
such an
weighs
idiot.
down your ankle in a way that only a scrunch sock can during
You need
step
to-
aerobics.
Yeah, I need to dress for the part. I am so inspired to find a step class now.
Me
I loved
too.
it because it does. It like makes your brain work. You're like trying to do all
Yep.
the steps. Like,
Well, you can take her class. So she has a whole online platform. It's called Savor and Sweat. And as long as you have your own step, she has step classes on there. So you can do it in the privacy of your own home also. So you don't
And
have
not
to
be
be
embarrassed.
embarrassed.
yeah.
I mean, Jack's living at her parents' right now. Maybe actually, mom probably has a step.
She
Yeah.
might. She might. I got to go look in the garage. She was obsessed. I love it. I think it's so
I can
fun.
totally see your
Only-
mom doing step aerobics too.
Oh yeah, for sure. She loved it. It's the only cardio that I actually kind of like.
It's so fun.
I don't know if my body could handle it right now though. That's a lot of like jumping on the joints.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Ugh.
All right. Who's next?
Okay, I'll go. My good week is we are finally at the end of our renovation. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're actually doing things that are progressing our house, and it feels so good. It has been such a f***ing ride. It's been
It doesn't feel that long.
I
it's been
know.
since September.
September's not that long for a full renovation like that. That is speedy.
No, I know it is speedy. And it would have been faster if we didn't run into every single problem that you could run into. Like
Yeah.
we would have been done probably in December if we didn't have to, we had to redo our piping and our electricity and like everything. So it feels really good. I'm actually seeing my creativity come to life.
The tiles are
Um,
great.
Thank you. I know. And I'm so, you know how I'm like the analysis paralysis and I always think I'm going to make the wrong move. And I'm like, this is forever and I'm going to hate it.
Mhm.
But I like it.
Yeah.
It feels so good. I can't wait to move in. Jared is dying.
When
I'm
do you get
sure.
to move in? You could be You could be living there now.
No, we don't have a bathroom or a kitchen
Oh.
or anything at all. We just have like half wood floors. Hopefully by the beginning of March. I mean, they're doing all of our bathrooms and then we get the cabinets in and then full steam ahead. So I'm just so excited.
Do you have
but-
furniture or are you doing that now?
No, we have to kind of start from zero. So yeah, it's going to be crazy. But then I get to do actually what I want. I'm like selling all of my stuff on Facebook Marketplace and starting anew. So that's very exciting. So my bad week is, okay, you guys remember when I got my surgery and Kelty sent me that really shitty bouquet of flowers and it came with a bath bomb. And she said that she sent it because it had the Sweet Loren's
Cookies. I didn't even care about sending you flowers. I just added that on at the end. I wanted you to have the cookies
Yes.
that you make in the oven that I make for you when you come to my house that you love. I'm sorry I'm so thoughtful. Continue.
I know. Well, and so the whole saga was the cookies never came and it was just the shitty flowers and the bath bomb. Well, turns out I was wrong. The cookies did arrive.
Who ate
I
them?
was just so f***ed up on oxycodone that I didn't remember.
Thank you.
I hope you ate them.
Oh my God. Well, now I'm obsessed and I've bought like 4 other packages of it because I eat them every single night. We just put like 3
Wait,
in the
how
oven.
did you find out that I was thoughtful, that Becca and I were so thoughtful?
Because Jared obviously edits our podcast and he listened to the episode. He's like, those cookies are in the fridge right now.
Idiot.
And I was like, oh, whoopsie daisy.
It's okay.
But you know what? It is the gift that keeps on giving. Those are the yummiest cookies I've ever had. They're
Yeah.
so
Insane.
delicious
And
Yeah.
they're gluten-free.
and dairy-free. Somehow they're
Are
vegan
they?
and gluten-free.
Wow.
I don't know how,
Okay.
but they're so
Magic.
good. Thank you, because now I'm obsessed and I have them every night.
Well,
You're
you're
welcome.
welcome. You really are
Sorry.
thoughtful.
I apologize. I was on drugs.
I hope you didn't send a mean DoorDash like response, Kelty.
Uh-oh.
No,
hope
I didn't.
Okay.
She accepted the L.
I knew what we ordered. Okay. And I knew that Jack was probably high and Jared ate them by himself. So it's fine. Like, I get it. I feel you. I understand what's happening.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
All right. Okay. Well, I have, I'll start with my good week.
Okay.
I went home this weekend to Canada, which was f***ing cold. I don't know how you people live there, you psychos. So my dad was driving me. I had quite an airport experience. My dad was driving me to the airport, and I am just like hungry to spend as much time with my family as possible. So even though I could have taken an Uber, I was like, Dad, will you come take me to the airport? He's like, yes, I will. So then we're driving in his big old truck, and I look down and there's a compact disc just sitting in the mid area. And I pick up the compact disc. It's Tones and I. Do you know that song? Dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, yeah. Dance Monkey.
Yeah.
So I pick it up and I go, what's this? And he goes, this is the Dance Monkey song. And I was like, yes, I'm aware of the song. He's like, it's my favorite song. And I was like, what? And he's like, yes, I heard it and I bought the CD on Amazon. So he's like, do you want to listen to it? And I was like, sure. And he takes out the compact disc, which, when's the last time you were in a car that had a compact disc player?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's been a minute. And he puts it in and he proceeds to drive in this big old man in Canada, snow, in his big old truck in the middle of the coldest day of my life. And he's singing, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's cute.
Wanna never see you dance again. He's like, I love this song. I listen to it all the time.
Wow.
And I just, you know what?
Wow.
Life is a surprise.
Mr. Jorts.
I love that. So
like,
cute for him.
This is a man who swears at a screwdriver when it doesn't do what it needs to do. Like, so tough. And Dance Monkey is his favorite song. Wouldn't have expected that.
How adorable.
It was so cute. I was like, I love you so much. Okay, next. I went to the airport and I did that thing where I was like, guys, it is an international flight, but it's the smallest airport in the world. So like, I don't need to be there 2 hours in advance. Like, just take me a little bit early. So I got to the airport and then I needed all that time. Why? I was chosen for extra security.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they do the thing where they put the little Swiffer, the baby circle Swiffer, and they Swift your stuff and then they let you go.
Yeah.
Not me. They Swiffered. What was on my laptop.
Explosives.
Dynamite.
Wait, what?
Yeah. 6% TNT.
From
Do you
what?
think it's from the Celsius you've been drinking? It's through your pores?
I have no idea. So I was like, they were like, it started alarming. And I was like, oh God, what does this mean? And they're like, well, and then I looked at the little slip. It said 6% TNT. So they took me to a separate area.
Oh my
and
God.
then I had to take off not everything I was wearing, but like all my layers. And then they had to go through my bag and look at every single thing in my bag and swab every single thing, to which I found out that he was like, well, what? And then this like questionnaire, blah, blah, blah. Where have you been? What have you been touching? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I guess thyroid medicine. He said, oh, I see this all the time. And I was like, what? Thyroid medicine has the same base as dynamite, like sodium, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, but it's in a capsule. And he's like, well, but if the lab made it, and then they're like, some of the stuff is like on your hands. And I was like, that's insane to me. I was so shocked. But the most embarrassing part, and this circles back to a bad week, is that I had an entire wheel of brie in my bag.
Why?
Yeah, why?
My brother was so sweet. When I stayed with him, he bought groceries for me, and he knows that I like to eat brie, but I was eating the poutine cheese. I wasn't going full cheese. So I didn't eat the brie. And then I was like, well, I know he's not going to eat it. So I was like, I'll take it with me for the plane, which I did. I ate it in the sky. It was amazing. But like, you know, when people are looking through your bag and you're like, I'm sorry, that's just a full wheel of brie.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Such a
Glamour.
weird choice.
I love it.
All right, when we come back, let's go down to the South.
I'm so excited.
The Lady Gang.
Our guest today is a newbie in the Bravo universe. Her Instagram bio says it best: model, musician, menace. But in her heart, she's just a big old band nerd who cries over her tuba. A former iconic contestant on America's Next Top Model, she's bringing realness to the South in the new season of Southern Charm. Please welcome to the podcast and to the LadyGang for the first time ever, Molly O'Connell.
Welcome.
Oh my God, oh my God, brain fart. What an entrance. Sorry. How are
Hi.
Jesus Christ.
Do you know
Hi.
how this came to be? Did your manager tell you? I went on a Capital One brand influencer trip to Santa Fe in 2021, and Antreneg, your manager, was
Yes.
there because Cameron was supposed to be coming on the trip. Cameron
Yes.
got deathly ill. And he was there, waiting for her to come, and she missed out on all the activities. So he was with me and my husband, the three of us, just having a romantic Santa Fe weekend together.
Oh my God.
Hosted by Capital One. It was pretty epic. And we followed each other on Instagram because I just love him. He's wonderful. And I posted about you while watching Southern Charm a couple weeks ago. And I was like, I am obsessed with Molly. She's the Jennifer
God.
Lawrence of reality television. And he messaged me and he's like, she's my client. I was like, well, she has to get on the fucking podcast. So I just want to say it is really hard to join a show like that and become a fan favorite right away. And you have succeeded.
I literally don't. I was so surprised. I was like, oh, everyone's going to think I'm weird, and not in a fun way. I was bracing for impact of people being like, get her off the show. And it's been opposite. And I could cry every day. I'm it makes me so happy, the amount of people who've reached out and I don't know. I don't know how it happened. I'm just surprised. But I'm really happy. It's been amazing.
How did you get cast?
Well, I'm just friends with a lot of them, so I think they just kind of are like, "Hey, who are your friends that are fun?" And
There she is.
they my name somehow got floated around, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, it's just being friends with them. Just being in Charleston, for being from Charleston, it's kind of hard to not know everyone after so many years. So yeah, just organic friendship and stuff, which is, I think, made it more real.
And you and Craig sexted one another.
Oh.
We did used to sext.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but yeah, we used.
I
we used
wouldn't
to
mind if
sext.
you started sexting again, if you know what I mean.
I mean, he needs time after this Paige breakup, but Lord.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Was he a good sexter? He's so hot.
He's so hot.
Yeah. I mean, he's hot. Yeah, he's undeniably a very hot man. Yeah, he was pretty good sexter. Yes.
Can
It
I
was
ask you a
fun.
question about that, though? I want to know, is that a Charleston man? Is that a typical, Charleston? You know how, when you take a New York Wall Street guy out of New York City and you're like, oh my God, he's so hot. But it's just because, the girls in LA never see a man in a suit with a briefcase. But, is Craig a typical Charleston hottie? They're all like that? All the bros are hot and tall and have that hair and good dressers? Or is he a one of a kind?
I feel like he's definitely different than the typical Charleston bro. He's also not from Charleston. So a lot of the guys here wear the exact same outfit, a different version of the same exact outfit with stupid pants and whatever shirts and stuff. So I think maybe back in the day, early Craig with madras shorts
Yeah.
and whatever shirt, yes, that's the typical Charleston guy. But I think you can displace Craig somewhere else and he'll still be pretty hot. Yeah.
He's hot.
Yeah, he's a little different than the Charleston guys.
Now,
least
I really
now.
need to ask you something. Do you really find Shep attractive?
Yeah, I think Shep's hot. And he's very tall. He's very tall because I'm very tall.
That'll do it.
You're not.
So-
at
Jack's
all.
do I like him or is he just tall?
But I think Shep's hot, but I didn't
Shep-
realize that
No,
he was
I
that
think
tall
he's
either.
handsome and tall. Yeah, no, he's 6'4" or something. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm 5'11", so It's hard
Okay.
to.
I mean, I trust you. I thought he was hot when the show started, but then as the years have gone by, it's very
Yeah.
he's aggressively Peter Pan still.
Yes. So yes, obviously that's like we're all aware
Yeah.
of that. I think I've definitely seen him changing, and at least trying to
Mhm.
change. I mean, if you look at the whole Sienna thing, like he was like
That was wild.
go he was like I mean, he's all in. And then of course the one time he's all in, he gets she's not into him. But I think I've seen um he's like admitting and like aware of things that he needs to change. You can't do it all in immediately, but I think that's the first step, and I've seen that, so I appreciate that. But
Yeah,
also, we're all I'd be insane to not be wary of the things that have happened,
the
and
things. The
just
things.
also, I mean, it's like all the men here. It's not just Shep. Mm.
It's a Charleston epidemic.
It
I
really
think that
is.
the reason
Wait,
that
what's the epidemic though?
the
The
Peter
Peter
Pan
Pan.
syndrome, they're
Uh,
just all like refusing to grow up. They like to go out to the bars. They like to wear flip flops, which every day, which is so upsetting.
I
Ugh.
love flip flops, so
On a
I'm
man?
How?
for. No, I wear flip
Oh,
flops a
women
lot, so
can wear
I
flip
can't.
flops.
True, I guess it is more annoying when a man
It's
wears it, but
we don't want to see their feet.
who do you think has nicer
true.
feet, Craig or Shep? If you had to spend the rest of your life with one of their gross man toes, would you pick a flip flop of Shep or a flip flop of Craig?
Craig. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know. I've never seen their feet though. I don't. I mean, I've seen. I'm
How
sure I've
can you
seen it,
not? They're always out.
but I'm not like looking at them. I think I'm just used to that. We're in Charleston. It's hot as shit here, so it's like
It's true.
you wear a shoe, your foot's gonna be all hot in there. So I mean, flip flops are a thing, but like out to the bar and stuff and club, it's like no.
Something that I really like respected and appreciated when you joined the show, and even I think it was like the first episode that you mentioned it. You were really open about your struggle with your weight fluctuation, and coming from a
Yes.
modeling background where you're expected to be a stick figure, and you opening up about it. I was like, this is the most refreshing thing, is to see a woman who's stunningly gorgeous with a banging bod, who
Thank
is
you.
like open, being vulnerable enough to like express what that's like. Did you consciously make the choice to discuss it on the show, or is it just because you're so open, it part of comes with the package?
I think it just kind of comes with the package. I feel like it's partially a trauma response to point things out first. To
Yeah.
be like,
Mm,
I'm aware I gained 50 pounds. You don't have to fucking comment on my page because people will.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also, that's just me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't filter myself really. And that's, my life. And then when people ask about my job, oh, are you modeling? Well, not a lot because I gained weight and most of the stuff I do, you need to be a certain size, 02. I do a lot of e-commerce. And I mean, that's just how it is. And so I've lost those jobs, and weight is a part of that. So, it affects a lot of parts of my life. Um, and I've got a lot of shame around it because of just society and the modeling industry and the toxicity of all that. And, how trolls feel,
Yeah.
have the balls to come say something to me online. It's like, say it to my face.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, yeah, I just talk about what I don't know. I appreciate when other people talk about their issues because it makes me
Mhm.
feel less alone. And I've also found new therapies and stuff that have really worked for me through other people who have said, this has been really helpful. You should look into this. Like ketamine infusions completely changed my life.
Really.
I was in a deep, deep depression. I struggle with depression and anxiety. I have PTSD, CPTSD. And I will, got in a real rut, and I was like, couldn't get out of bed. I wasn't showering for long periods of time. I wouldn't leave my house. I would just order DoorDash. Like I wouldn't do anything, wouldn't let anybody come over. And I wasn't in a place where I could even do the therapy I needed to get better.
Mhm.
And I started a ketamine infusions because one of the girls on Top Model, Lisa D'Amato, posted how it changed her life. And I was like, I messaged her, she told me about it. So had she not posted that publicly, I wouldn't have known to do that. And it literally, I did a ketamine infusion, and during the ketamine infusion is when I was playing 80s rock ballads, what I said on the show.
Yeah.
They didn't show that part. It was during a ketamine infusion. And I was like, why did I quit music? Like,
Yeah.
why would I do that? Why would I let my anxiety stop me from something that I loved so much and that I've done since I was 3, 4 years old? It was just ridiculous. So it just like, I shouldn't have needed ketamine to have that realization, but it just kind of like hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, what are you doing? Um, and so then I was able to kind of get out of that rut enough to do the hard work that I needed to do and start DBT therapy, dialectic behavioral therapy, which I got diagnosed with CPTSD a few years ago. And
What is CPTSD?
Yeah, I was going to ask, what's the difference of?
complex PTSD. So it's basically like multiple, lots of traumas, not necessarily like huge. Some have been bigger, but not necessarily like you think of like veterans having physical war
Mhm.
trauma, gunshots, whatever. I don't have that, but I have a lot of other traumas. Being adopted, I have abandonment issues. My brother died when I was 6. 3 other family members died within 4 or 5 months after that. Um, and then just traumas kind of from the modeling industry and society in general, and ex-boyfriends and stuff like that. So if you have a big trauma like a veteran does, you can escape that place. But if your traumas are in like everyday life,
Mhm.
it's a lot harder. And so you not to say that it's harder than no,
Sure,
it's
sure.
all, but
Yeah.
it's harder to like separate yourself from
Yeah.
that, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
I'm not saying it how I could, I don't know, but so yeah, I had to do a lot of exposure therapy. I had a lot of anger. I still do have anger issues that I really just anger is a secondary emotion. So it's sadness or it's
Mhm.
fear or it's whatever. And a lot of grief issues that I never dealt with as a child. So, and that's a lot. It's a lot
Yeah.
to deal with. Exposure therapy is a nightmare, but it's helped me so much. But it was like I dreaded it every day. I was like, I don't want to do this. But it's really helped me. So,
What's exposure therapy?
well,
Like
oh
doing the
God.
things
So,
that you hate? Like my
yes,
brother has
or,
really bad PTSD and he says like he like hates going out in the world
but
and
you have to.
he's like it's like I know once I get out I'm fine but I know I'm going to have to walk through an electric fence. That's what he says
Yes.
every time.
Yes. Yes. Oh
But
my
tell me
gosh.
about that. I'm really
What a
interested in
good
the
description. I love the way he described that. Oh,
Mhm.
oh my God. It's literally, yeah, getting me out of the house to do things is so hard. But once I go out, I'm like, oh, this is fun. Um, but yeah, exposure therapy can be doing the actual things that bother you.
huh.
I have a lot of fear around my parents dying,
Mhm.
Mm.
to where I will like emotionally flood all the time. I'll see a movie, someone's parent dies, I lose my shit and I'll cry for hours. I will randomly start crying in the middle of the day, thinking about my parents dying, my pets. And it was like really affecting me and my relationships. And like, I would have a lot of shame around not hanging out with my parents enough, even though I see them every week. But so I would have to close my eyes, do willing hands, which is really hard for me. And basically, she was like, what is the worst possible thing that could ever happen to you? Like, what are you thinking about? And I was like, okay, my parents. She's like, but I want you to do like vivid. What's happening? And I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, I'm walking into a room and my parents are, you know, dying in a hospital bed and they
Oh my
die. Or
god.
like, I get home and someone's saying, your parents are, like, how do you feel? How does that make you feel? Like, all with my eyes closed, picturing that happening. So it was really stressful, and I didn't want to go to therapy every week because I knew that I was going to have to do that. But doing it over and over again, and then I had to listen back. I would have to go on the app and listen back to that like 3 times a
Whoa.
week. So it was really distressing.
Yeah.
Um, and it gave me a lot of anxiety, and it made me not want to go to therapy, but doing it has like just I'm still gonna be a wreck, obviously, when that happens. But it makes me hopeful that I maybe will have more tools and I'll be a little less like desensitized to the I don't know
Yeah.
to deal with it when it does happen because I don't know. So it's not fun.
Is there anything that
um,
you like not a motto, what's it called? Like
Mantra.
a
Mantra?
mantra, or is there anything like
mantra.
when those feelings do inevitably like start to bubble up, or like is there anything you've been taught to say to yourself or remind yourself of?
Oh gosh, there's I mean, I've got a whole freaking workbook of stuff, but a lot of it is radical acceptance, which I hate.
Yeah. It's
It's
the
like
worst. Fucking
I
worst.
hate it. It's my least favorite. They're like, well, it's going to happen. It's going to happen to you, and you're going to have to deal with it. Or like, life isn't fair. Oh, my parents used to say that to me all the time as a kid. I'd be like, why is that happening? Because life isn't fair. And I'm like, that's not fair. Like, I refuse to accept it. It makes me so angry. So that's it. I have issues with radical acceptance, but I have to say it to myself, like, you know what? It's going to happen. And I do have the tools to deal with it. And it does make sense that I feel this way
Mhm.
because I love my parents so much. And it makes
Mhm.
sense that I would have that fear, and that's okay. But there's a lot of like self soothing stuff, or like, because you don't want to distract yourself too much. A lot of what I would do is like avoidance and distraction. Um, but sometimes when you get so emotional and worked up, you do need a distraction. So yeah, there's a lot of self-soothing things and distraction stuff that I do, but also just kind of telling myself that, I will not die if they
Yeah.
die. I'm like, I'm just gonna die of sadness.
Yeah.
I mean, I still might, but it's
Thank you.
just
Thank you
it's
for
hard.
sharing that,
That's
Molly.
really
Yeah,
Thank you
awesome.
for
sorry,
sharing
all
that. No, I
sad
love
and
it.
morbid.
No, this is great. I love when our favorite reality stars turn out to be like the deepest, most inspirational people of all time. You're like not
Well,
just flipping a table, baby. I want to ask you about Top Model because you were on the show when it was like the show.
yes.
And I know that that's part of the trauma, but like was it as they cut all your hair off? Like can you talk about that experience and what it was like, because
Yeah.
that was before there were any rails on reality TV. Now, yes,
Yeah.
reality TV is crazy, but the end of the day, you work for Bravo, I work for E, we're under the same umbrella. I know that at the end of
Yeah.
the day, there are HR departments and people taking care of you. Like they want reality TV to be insane, but they also want to make sure that you're okay.
Yes.
America's
They
Next Top Model
did
did
not
not have
care.
that rail.
Nope. No.
Janice
Um,
Dickinson didn't care. That's so shocking.
It's shocking.
Shocker.
I'm so glad that she was not on my season.
Oh, good. Good.
I feel like she would have hated me and I would have been so sad, but then like pissed. I'd be like, you, Janice. She was just so mean. But
So mean.
yeah, the show, that was wild. They definitely messed with us a good bit. And they wouldn't show that part. And then they would just like record us, or me especially, being very angry after the weave they did. They put the weave in, they brought an outside specialist. It was some woman and her granddaughter was helping do the weave. It was
No.
terrible. So I got sores on the back of my neck. I had to get antibiotics from a doctor. It was like I was having an allergic reaction. So they took it out after a week and they had it put back in
Ugh.
by someone else. And they didn't show that part. I had it for another week. So I already had the worst I was in People magazine, the worst makeover of top model history. Besides that beard weave, Jesus Christ, so stupid. And then I get the most best photos on the whole show. Brittany falls in the finale runway. And so I'm like, I've got this in the bag. Like, I should win. My CoverGirl commercial was kind of terrible. That's probably what did me in. But so they're like, well, you know what? We're going to do something that's never been seen before on Top Model. We're going to cut your hair off, both of you. So it was in the bathroom of the lobby of the hotel that we were filming in. She just like, here you go. And then they give Brittany a really cute pixie cut because they knew they were going to pick her when they did that.
Oh.
They had chosen. They knew. They just did it for funsies.
Mm.
And I got a Leonardo DiCaprio Titanic bowl cut, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, you lose. Fly home from Africa in 4 hours."
Wait, so they cut your hair at the very end.
30 minutes before they told us who won and lost.
That is so fucked up.
After the finale runway, like we went to the judging place, and they literally were like, "Okay, we're gonna cut all your hair off, and then tell you who won." And so I was like, "I'm gonna win, and I'll pay for an extensions." And
Yeah.
they're like, "Brittany's the winner." And I said the whole time, if I get beaten, it better be by Brittany because she's my competition. And so I will allow it. But
Wow.
But it was crazy because they sent you back into the mist. But at the time, from what I gather, you were doing like a lot of bridal, a lot of e-com, like where you were like the beautiful, like
girl next door
charm, not Leonardo
Not that
DiCaprio. You weren't
haircut.
doing the weird Lisa Rinna interview magazine shit. You were doing pretty girl in a wedding dress. So you needed that hair.
I did some high fashion, but the haircut limits you so much in modeling. And I had to keep the hair short for publicity, for PR after the show, for 8 months after, eight
Oh my
months
God.
after I had to keep it.
God.
So I kept like dyeing it platinum. I shaved one side of it. I was like, "Look, we're going to have fun with it if I have to keep this shit short."
Yeah.
So it was so stupid. And then
Jeez.
growing it out, I had like a mullet at one point.
Of
It was
course.
How
horrible.
old were you during that?
22.
Oh my gosh.
So
Oh.
15 years ago.
Wow.
Oh my God.
What a
Wow.
mess.
Wow.
That is so crazy. All right. The
Yeah.
last thing I want to know is I just want some little like Southern tea. Like, can you give us a little behind the scenes tea on filming this season?
I want to know the Vanita JT situation. I know since the airing of the show, there have been some conspiracies that JT was only showing affection towards Vanita because he wanted to have a storyline. What's your take?
Bless her heart, spill the tea.
I honestly don't know. He does seem to like to, stir the pot, and but I don't know. I mean, Vanita's amazing. So
Yeah,
like
she
I
is.
find it hard that someone wouldn't like her.
Yeah.
Whether or not he kind of lied and whatever, I don't know, whatever was going on with him and his girlfriend and
Yeah.
stuff, or whether or not he kind of let her on a little bit more for the show. I don't
Yeah.
know. But I feel like he does actually like her, and if he doesn't, then he's a fucking idiot.
Okay. I agree.
She spilled the tea. Okay, what's next, Becca?
Okay, what's your take on Gaston?
I like Gaston. I've like he's very nice when I see them out. Taylor seems happy.
Good.
So, I mean, hey, if every single ex of mine you talked to, I'd probably have a few who are like, "Molly sucks."
Yeah.
So I mean, it's Charleston. Like you're gonna find a lot of people who don't like you or your ex or what, it's incestuous here. Everybody's hooked up with everybody, somebody. So I mean, I think he's nice. So,
Okay.
She spilled the tea.
yeah.
Okay. What about Whitney? I thought I know he's a producer on the show, so you can't talk shit about him, or you might lose your
Fucking
job.
Whitney.
I cannot get a read from season to season of who he is. Like one minute I'm like, I love him. Like, what an interesting, eccentric guy. And then like this
Yeah.
season, I'm like, you're so manipulative and like jealous.
I think he is very like I love Whitney. He's one of the more fun people I know. He's extremely interesting. There's never a dull moment, but he is very insensitive sometimes.
Okay.
So, depending on what's being talked about, I mean, he will say, and he'll say stuff just to be like contrarian and just to be
Yes.
kind of a dick. So he's kind of like, poking at people and just messing around. I mean, so yeah, I just
Okay.
sometimes he says something rude, sometimes he's really funny and like eccentric, and I don't know if he's truly jealous or in saying the like Shep thing that I'm just
Yeah.
cooler and richer than you, or if he's means like that's what Sienna thinks because Sienna's he thinks she's a gold digger or whatever. But I don't know if he did mean that. That is kind of a dick thing to say.
Okay, now I want to do Mary Kill. Craig,
Oh,
Austin, Shep. Craig,
oh
Austin,
God.
Shep. You have to answer.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's a. Can I bless
I'll
their
go
heart and not?
first. I'll go first.
Okay.
Yeah. What's yours?
Okay. I think there's got to be a reason that women like Austin. So he must be good in bed. So I will sleep with Austin. I will marry Craig and I will kill Shep.
I think mine's
Oh
the
my
same.
gosh.
Mine's the same.
Yeah. See, that one's hard. That's a hard one. No, see, oh no, I'm gonna get in
Okay,
trouble for
what if you
this.
don't what if you don't have to kill them? You just
Put them off the show.
Off the
Mary,
show.
fire.
Well, who would you rather
See,
sleep? Who
I
would you rather sleep
would
with?
rather sleep with.
Who do you think's the best in bed?
Well,
That's
I mean, from the sexting and stuff, maybe let's like maybe just try it out. Let's see what's going on there.
okay, Craig.
Craig. Austin loves Harry Potter and stuff, so I feel like we would, if I were to marry Austin,
Hell
we would
yeah.
we would watch a lot of weird shit and Harry Potter. Like all I do is send Austin Harry Potter memes.
That's
Um,
cute.
but like then Shep, I don't want to kill any of them, but like Shep and I have a lot in common as well. But I feel like we maybe would butt heads because we are kind of similar. So maybe I'd end up killing Shep.
Okay. Have
I
there
mean,
been any famous men to get into your DMs since being on the
Yes.
show? Or reality men? Or
Rihanna, she loves that show.
Oh my God, Rihanna, DM me. I love you.
Oh,
No, she hasn't. Oh my God, no, she hasn't. And I wish. Not
has Jennifer Lawrence? Because she's a huge Housewives fan and she
not that
must
I
have
know. I don't think so. I tagged her in something the other day because somebody was like, "You look like Jennifer Lawrence," and I was like, every time someone says that to me, I
she's
get a day younger.
yeah.
I love her, but not nobody very exciting. Although I mean, no one very exciting. I mean, I've
I
had people in my DMs before this. But,
Oh, okay. Are you
Ooh.
able to say or no? You don't have to.
well, I mean, it was. I think one might be Mary. I don't
Uh-oh.
want to.
yeah. Don't do
Uh-oh.
that. Don't do
I'm
that.
not. A couple might be married. Actually, I'm not gonna. I'm not
They
gonna blow
usually
up
are.
their. But I didn't. I didn't go hang out with them or anything. Right? They usually are. All the fucking married men. No,
usually are.
nobody cool. Nobody exciting. Nobody that I want to be in my DMs.
I see you
Say
with
that.
an athlete.
Me too.
But our athlete. I see.
But we don't want to be with an athlete.
No.
That's a bad
I
decision.
kind of like my men to like not be too fit.
Oh.
Same.
Dad bod? You like a dad bod?
No, not in a dad bod.
Oh.
I don't know if that's me being like, I want other women to be less attracted to my men. No.
Oh.
Or I want to be able to like, order cheeseburgers and stuff and you not be like, oh no, I just want a protein shake and I need to go work out for 6 hours.
I
Yeah.
hate
Like,
that. I can't do
that's not
that.
I like
Yeah.
working out and I am trying to be healthier and stuff, but like I also like to be a gremlin on my couch and eat
Yeah.
disgusting food. And I feel like athletes might not do that as much as me. Also, athletes have a terrible stereotype of just being in people's DMs when they're married.
Oh.
You screw. You're like all of those.
Whoopsies.
Well,
Okay.
Molly, you're a
Sorry.
delight. I feel like we covered the full gamut. We got the
Yeah.
full Molly. The new season of Southern Charm is airing right now on Bravo, and you can follow
Yes.
Molly A. What's the A for?
Molly Ann O'Connell.
Molly Ann O'Connell, the Southern Belle. Molly Ann.
Molly
come
Ann.
have
Are
your
you going to
grits.
come out with a single? Because you sing. I just saw this on your Instagram.
I have a lot more anxiety around singing than I do around playing. But I would like to. I don't write music really. I've never tried, but God, I would totally come out with a song. I'm never gonna be like dancing on a stage. I don't think that'll
Maybe you
ever
need
be
a country
me.
music career.
Mhm.
I don't love a lot of country. I like pop country and I
Mhm.
like old school like Shania Twain, Dixie Chicks kind of stuff. But I really like I tend to like turn songs into Broadway songs sometimes.
Mm.
Like I would love to do Broadway. I was Sandy in Grease in high school.
Cute.
There you go.
I mean, I would
Maybe you need to be Roxy Hart in Chicago.
I would so do that. I would do that in a fucking second.
Okay, well, you heard it here first. Me and Kelty
You
have been
heard it.
trying to get to Roxy Hart, the role of Roxy Hart for years. You might just beat us there.
Oh my gosh. Well, we can all do it.
And then we'll kill you. Just
Yeah.
kidding. Okay, Molly, we're so happy for you. Congratulations on everything. Stay authentically you. You're fabulous. You're doing a
Thank
great
you.
job. We loved when you cried. It's great reality TV. Bravo to you. And
Thank
we
you so
will
much.
See you next
see you
Tuesday.
next Tuesday.